Hello! Today, I'll tell you a story about a lovely girl who wore a little red riding hood. One day, when she was on her way to visit her grandmother, she met a big, bad wolf. What will happen to the little girl? Let's read on to find out the answer. Hi everyone, I'm Little Red Riding Hood. I live with my mother in a small house on the edge of the forest. Little Red Riding Hood's mother. Grandmother.
I'm a super hunter. I love to hunt dangerous animals to protect everyone.
I'm the wolf. I live in the forest and love to eat young kids who walk alone.
Once upon a time, there was such a sweet, lovely girl that everyone loved her. She often wore a red riding hood everywhere she went. So, the people in the village called her Little Red Riding Hood. I love this Red Riding Hood very much. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother asked her to bring a cake and a bottle of wine to her grandmother, who was very ill. Grandmother is very ill. My dear, bring this cake and bottle of wine to her to help her get well. Yes, Mom. Before Little Red Riding Hood set off, her mother reminded her to always stay on the main path and mind her manners. The little girl obeyed her mother and set off. Remember, don't talk to strangers and don't go off the road. When you meet and talk to your grandmother, you should be very respectful. I will, Mom. Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother lived in a small cottage in the forest. On her way, she met a wolf who asked her,
Hello, Little Red Riding Hood. Where are you going?
The little girl honestly answered that she was on her way to visit her grandmother. Her cottage was under 3 large oak trees, and there were many chestnut trees there.
Where's your grandmother's cottage, Little Red Riding Hood?
My grandmother's cottage is in the forest, under 3 large oak trees. In his mind, the wicked wolf made an evil plan to eat both Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother. Soon, he lured her into picking flowers and playing with butterflies in the forest. Little Red Riding Hood was very excited when she saw them. So, she went off of the road and enjoyed picking the beautiful flowers. Pretty butterfly, wait for me. I'm a dragonfly. Would you like to fly high, like me? In the meantime, the wolf ran straight to the grandmother's cottage, stepped inside, and ate her up. Then he put on her clothes to disguise himself as the ill grandmother and lay on her bed.
I'm Little Red Riding Hood. Open the door for me and let me in, please. I'll snack on this old woman. Ha 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 ha.
When Little Red Riding Hood reached the cottage, she saw the door open. Then she went to the bed, but felt that her grandmother looked different. Grandmother, I'm Little Red Riding Hood. How strange it is. Why is the door open? Little Red Riding Hood asked, Oh, grandmother, what big ears you have.
All the better to hear your sweet voice, my dear.
Oh, grandmother, what big eyes you have.
All the better to see your lovely face, sweet love.
Oh, grandmother, what big hands you have.
All the better to hug you more tightly.
My goodness, what big teeth you have!"
All the better to eat you with.
The wolf immediately jumped out of the bed, pounced on the little girl, and swallowed her whole. "My goodness! Why is your mouth so big?"
To eat you up!
The wolf ate so much that his stomach was completely full. He climbed back into bed, fell asleep, and snored very loudly. At that very moment, a hunter was passing by the grandmother's cottage. He thought that the wolf must have eaten the poor woman. So, he took a pair of scissors and cut open the wolf's stomach. Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother jumped out, alive and unharmed.
You're here, wicked wolf.
Then, Little Red Riding Hood filled the wolf's stomach with large stones. When he woke up and tried to run away, the stones were so heavy that he fell down dead.
Huh, let's see if you can run away with that stomach.
It serves you right, wicked wolf. The three of them were very happy. The hunter took the wolf's fur. The grandmother ate the cake and drank the wine that Little Red Riding Hood had brought. She then felt better. "From now on, I will obey Mother. I will never leave the road and run off into the forest by myself." Little Red Riding Hood thought to herself, "From now on, I will obey Mother. I will never leave the road and run off into the forest by myself." That's the end of the story, Little Red Riding Hood. What lessons can you learn from this story? Firstly, you should always obey your mother and shouldn't go out alone, especially to deserted places. Secondly, you should be polite to your elders. Thirdly, you should never talk to strangers when your parents tell you not to. This story is really interesting and helpful, isn't it? Goodbye, and see you again soon.